The wildlands of Ghur are a dangerous place. When the children of the Horn Rat come across Alarielle and her Sylvaneth, battle is unavoidable. Led by a Vermin Lord Warpseer, the Skaven forces are eager for the opportunity to defeat a god. However, the children of the Everqueen will not back down, as now is the time of reaping, and the season of war has begun.
Hello and welcome to the Season of War. We have an exciting game today. Ridge and I are here about to play our first match of Age of Sigmar 3rd edition.
It's here.
So we haven't tested it at all or anything yet, so this is literally our first game. Obviously dove as much as we could into the core rules now that they are out. And just a quick note, the time of playing this, the GHB, none of the information is known besides the one community article. So some things like points may change in the GHB and other things. So just a heads up that that stuff may change.
Yeah. And the spells as well.
And the spells, yeah. We decided not to take any just because they're potentially changing. So just thought we'd avoid them and be safe. But we are going to play with the Ghur ability that was teased in the article for the GHB 2021, which is in the 3rd battle round, one of the objectives gets destroyed by whoever goes second in that battle round. So it's a really interesting mechanic. Obviously, it should be hugely impactful for the entire year, you know, with the new GHB again. So
the entire season, apparently.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, but we are going to play with that. So again, just a heads up that some of changes in the GHB we might not be playing with because it's not out yet. Thematically, though, we are playing on our Ghur battlefield today. All the sceneries from printable scenery, so super excited about that. I have my Sylvaneth out today. Ridge, you brought your Skaven.
Yep.
Both of our first AoS armies, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It is.
Armies we're both hoping can do better with some recent updates and going into 3rd edition. So
yeah, Kragnos was nice to me at least. Brought back some Rattling guns, some stuff from Molder. So super pumped to be able to try some of it out.
Oh yeah, it'll be a good test here. But we'll start off by going through the mission first. This is 1 to 3 from the Core Rulebook. So this is Rising Power is the mission. There are 3 objectives across the center, and then 1 staggered in each territory. So very similar to shifting objectives from the old rulebook or GHB. These 3 objectives you roll, and one of them becomes the primary objective. But also interesting here, we always played with auxiliaries, but now there are also scoring for the battle tactics that you choose at the beginning of each turn.
Yep.
So again, you get 2 victory points for that, so that could be a huge swing, as well as I think it's 2 or 3 victory points at the end of the game if you complete your army's grand strategy. So lots of new stuff going on. Ridge, you want to take us through your list?
All right, yeah, so a little different list building now with the reinforcing units and whatnot. So I wasn't sure, I don't have that many clan rats to be able to reinforce twice with battle line, like as everyone knows. But anyways, I took for battle line a unit of 40 clan rats, a unit of 40 clan rats, and a unit of 10 storm vermin. And then I took the warp lightning cannon, a doom wheel, and a unit of 4 rat ogres. So with the new supplement, they have, you can give them a mutation. So I gave them plus, so they're go to a 4-up save and 6 wounds each.
Nice.
So interesting that they give them a little bit, make them more of a wound pool kind of thing.
Yep.
And then for heroes, I have the general is the Arch Warlock. So he has the Overseer Destruction still. That's the 3 weapon teams reroll hits.
Yep.
And then I took a Grey Seer and a Warp Seer, who's going to be just super good in 3.0, being a monster and reroll save, just a lot of good fun stuff. And then I also took for weapon teams 3 Rattling guns. So they're deployed secretly in one of my Clan Rat or Storm Vermin units, because that's now what you can do. So a lot of viability back with that. They're not getting shot at before they can actually do what they need to do. So that'll come up later. And then I took a Warp Grinder, so that allows me to deep strike a unit as well. So I took the unit of 40 Clan Rats, and they're off the board in reserve as well.
It's a good chance that they're going to deep strike and some of the Rattling cannons might pop out.
Are going to pop out, yeah.
Good chance.
Yeah, and then obviously be within the Scryer heroes. Okay, yeah, so I took the Warlord Battalion, which is going to give me a CP once per game, and then also give me an extra enhancement. So for the enhancement, I was fiddling around and didn't really know what to do, so I took the magic one that allows me to have a lore spell for each of my casters.
Yep, an extra one.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool. Going to see Flaming Weapon hopefully on the big warps here and some other fun stuff. And then for the grand strategy, I took Hold the Line, which means that I just need to have one of my battle line units survive the game.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's it. I do get a triumph as well because I think I was like
10 points less than
10 points under. So, you know, they're not as good as they used to be, but still I took +1 to wound, which inspiring. So.
I think it's good. You no longer, they are just a bonus now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today I am running, obviously, my Sylvaneth here. I'm kind of doing my standard staple sub-faction in Heartwood. I love this one in terms of just, it provides a good amount of buffs to you both in shooting and in combat here. So obviously you have the Queen Alariel on the table today, wanting to get her new rules out. Similarly to you, got some new buffs. So
everyone's favorite.
Yeah, hoping to make use of it. And then I have 2 units of Tree Revenants and 1 unit of Spite Revenants for my 3 battle line. Obviously super cheap. Minimum squads there.
Yep.
And then I have the Tree Lord Ancient, who is my general. So he has the command trait as well as the artifact, which is reroll hits to Kurnoth Hunters, which is both shooting and combat super huge. Because I have a big unit of Kurnoth Hunters with sides, I have 6 of them, as well as a unit of 6 with bows. Both of them currently deployed in the spear paths off the table, so I can deep strike into my woods, get them kind of positioned where I want to. Obviously, it's a little slow otherwise.
Yep. A lot of rerolls. That's seems to be what you want now in 3.0.
Yeah,
anything that gets rerolls that want ones or anything like that is.
And well, the reroll artifact is obviously amazing from him, but I also have an amazing command ability in Heartwood that just got better with the new kind of restrictions.
Yep.
It gives me reroll 1s to hit and wound against one of your units. So it doesn't interfere with other buffs, where I can still give them +1 to hit from all out attack, and then have reroll 1s to hit and wound. For every unit that attacks that one target.
And you're going to be seeing a lot of that now. Like we were chatting about, like a lot of people are probably, you're going to look for those little things that you get rerolls, all that kind of stuff. So
and obviously we will both have more CP to spend on +1 hit and save are going to be 2 of the big ones as well. But then my grand strategy was Vendetta. So this is actually to kill your general and have my general survive until the end of the game. Obviously Tree Lord is somewhat tanky. I have more reliability in terms of healing and whatnot in the game. So hopefully able to keep him alive. And then I also did take a battalion. The one I chose was the Battle Regiment Battalion. So this is the one where it lets you deploy the whole battalion in 1 drop. So I had everything in that battalion besides the Tree Lord, because he's not less than 10 wounds, so I couldn't fit him in there. So he was 1 drop. The rest of my army was 2 drops, so I did obviously outdrop you here.
Yeah, and I was in between. I wasn't sure about taking that or not, but I felt like the other one is just more important. I still have some threats if you give away the turn, because now it's going to always come down to you're going to want to give away the turn, because then you get extra CP, and if you can screen out and not be killed. But I have some threats that if you give me first, 100%. But a lot of armies do have those first turn threats, exactly. So it's definitely interesting now.
After you mentioned that, I think really there's nothing else to talk about. Well, again, no auxiliaries here, so we can pretty much jump right into the game. As you said, threats on both sides, but I am not going to go for the extra CP here. I am going to take the first turn.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's going to let me take some board controls, try and zone out your teleporting and deep striking, as well as hopefully start to reduce down some of your threats.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, we're just going to jump into round 1 with Sylvaneth going first.
Starting the Sylvaneth hero phase, Alariel casts Throne of Vines, but is unbound. She then miscasts Metamorphosis, taking 3 damage, but healing it back with Life Bloom. The Tree Lord Ancient then fails to cast Verdant Blessing, and instead uses a Silent Communion to summon a Wildwood. Both units of Tree Revenants teleport using their waypipes, zoning out both of the Skaven Gnawholes. The Spite Revenants use at the double to make sure they capture the primary objective. At the end of the movement phase, Alariel uses Soul Amphorae to summon 20 Dryads. Then both units of Kurnoth Hunters Deep Strike using Navigate Realm Routes. The Kurnoth with bows then use all-out attack and take out the Warp Lightning Cannon. Alarielle throws her Spear of Kurnoth at the Skaven general, but it doesn't penetrate his armor. Holding most of the objectives, the Sylvaneth score 3 points for the round, plus 2 for the battle tactic, and puts lots of pressure on their foes to reclaim ground.
Alright, so done Sylvaneth turn 1. Fun first turn of us figuring everything out.
Crazy stuff already happened in the very first turn we've ever played.
Great start. Having fun already. Things in terms of, obviously a lot of what we're going to be talking about is the impact of the new rules and adjustments. So I already had to spend a command point to auto run 6 because I needed at least a 2 to take this objective with the run, and this is the primary one, so I couldn't risk it.
Yep. And you can't roll the 6 first. You have to
roll it first, or you have to use the command point first.
Yes.
So I mean, I could have solved that by making sure I deployed an inch closer. But I knew I was taking first, so I was just kind of compensating for my own mistake.
Yep.
But I just teleported to zone out your gnawholes again. Told you I was going to try and zone out your deep striking to some regard. I summoned a unit of 12 dryads to be a big buffer. Deep struck my 6 Kurnoth in the middle. Obviously, they're my big threat. They're in cover right now, so they're tanky. And then I also deep struck my 6 bows, who obviously wanted to focus down one of your shooting things.
Yep.
And especially your Warp Lightning Cannon, because it does mortals, where everything else just does wounds. And I'm, tanky to some regard.
In the game now, like we said. In the game now, everything has +1 save on pretty much everything, so mortal wounds are going to be important.
So valuable.
This thing can do 12 mortal wounds to you.
Exactly. I just had to get rid of it because that's the best thing to take down my heroes.
Yep.
And obviously, with the Kurnoth, I was re-rolling all my hits. I did +1 to hit. I got all my hits through, so 12 out of 12. And then I rolled only like 5 3-ups for the wounds.
I only made one.
Only one save, then I did 12 damage with my 4 3-ups. I literally 4 6s. So.
Yeah. And I was in between using a CP or not, because now it's like all offense right away.
And you did.
I could have spiked the 4 ups.
Should have,
Either way.
For sure. So some crazy dice, but I do take that down, which is big. Alarielle had the chance to snipe at your general, but you made your armor save.
Yeah, he's on a 2. He's a 3-up in cover, so he's on a 2-up.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say even more important that you already experienced a miscast.
Yes, so that's a big one too. So Alarielle, you guys would have seen, did Throne of Vines, which was unbound, and then her second cast was miscast.
Yeah.
So she took the 3 mortal wounds on the D3, but then healing 2d6, she
healed 11 wounds.
She healed 11 wounds, the best she's ever going to heal, and when I only have 3 wounds to heal.
Yeah.
Because when you need to heal 11, you'll heal 3.
But then she didn't get to cast her 3rd spell, which is the notable part.
Yeah, for sure. So that would have been like another summon of a tree or something, or whatever. So again, feel good about positioning here. I did take first, so I opened myself up to the double. But obviously there's caveats on that, and I do take 4 out of 5 objectives.
Yep.
As well, my secondary or
battle plan or
battle tactic was to have more models than Ridge in the center, within 6 of the center. Obviously, very easy to do turn 1.
Yep.
Wanted to get that one out of the way because you can't repeat them at all. And with your numbers, it might be harder later.
There's a lot of thinking to do now.
Yeah, and that'll be it for me, obviously, here. And we'll jump into Skaven turn 1.
Yeah, let's do it.
At the start of the hero phase, the Vermin Lord Warpseer generates an extra command point for the Great Manipulators. Into casting, the Vermin Lord casts Mystic Shield on himself, then casts Dreaded Warp Gale, dealing 3 mortal wounds to the Kurnoth Hunters. The Grey Seer then casts Death Frenzy on the Clan Rats, then casts Skittle Leap to teleport the Arch Warlock across the battlefield. The Arch Warlock casts Warp Lightning Storm, but was unbound, then casts Chain Warp Lightning, dealing 3 mortal wounds in total. the Warp Grinder deep strikes behind enemy lines with the clan rats. At the start of the shooting phase, the Arch Warlock uses Overseer of Destruction on the 3 Rattling guns. The Doom Wheel started things off by overcharging and dealing 4 wounds to the Kurnoth with scythes. The first Rattling gun uses all-out attack and overcharges, finishing off a Scythe Hunter. Kurnoth with bows uses all-out defense as the second Rattling gun overcharges and deals 4 wounds. The last Rattling gun overcharges and deals 6 wounds to the Kurnoth with bows, but blows himself up in the process. In the charge phase, the Storm Vermin uses Forward to Victory and successfully makes their charge. Starting off combat, the clan rats use all-out attack and kill 10 dryads. The Spite Revenants kill 2 clan rats and 3 storm vermin, and the storm vermin kill 3 Spite Revenants in return. After the dryads kill 2 clan rats, the other unit of clan rats finish off the Spite Revenants. In the Battle Shock phase, the Vermin Lord uses 4th Children of the Horn Rat, and Alariel uses Inspiring Presence on the Dryads. The Skaven forces hold 3 objectives and score 3 points, plus 2 for their battle tactic.
Alrighty, so we're back, Skaven, turn 1. A lot of rats moving around, some deep striking, some making charges, and some good shooting and some killing yourself shooting. So a little bit of everything.
Yep.
I did get Skitter Leap, so Skitter Leap the General over here because I knew I was deep striking the unit with the 3 Rattling guns. So I was able to keep them within 13 for the Overseer Destruction and then as well give them +1 damage.
Yes, sir.
I rolled a 3 and a 4 for the first 2 guns, so obviously overcharging everything. So not the most shots there. And then the last one I rolled 2 5s, so I rolled a 10. So it was 20 shots, and then he exploded himself. So I like the third one better than the first 2. But killed 2 Kurnoth, so obviously can't complain, that's great. Yeah, so then just kind of positioned the rest just to see who gets the turn here. Made the 9-inch charge here, so that was nice, and yeah. So
just get them up onto the board. Because that was actually a big downside from my perspective of deep striking them back here, is that they're not on the objectives.
Yeah, and they do have retreat and charge as well, the clan rats and storm vermin, so it's so useful to...
Oh yeah, move up the board.
Yeah, so you might as well get into combat with the can. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So let's roll to see where the new objective is. So one over here.
In the middle.
The center. So
cool.
Bump your rats.
Yep.
And then we can roll for priority. It's a 3.
That's a 2.
And yeah, obviously you just take it here. I want to keep priority in Ido and have it taken first, delaying the double. And if you take the double 2 into 3 now, I at least have to burn an objective.
Yes.
So
just keeping your Kurnoth alive. It's just they're still at a point where they can do a lot of damage. If you let me go here, then there's a chance that
you can definitely do some more. At some point though, I have to expect you to get that double, but hopefully, like you said, I can deal with a bunch of your stuff first.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll jump into Sylvaneth turn 2.
Looking for more magical success, Alariel casts Throne of Vines, but is again unbound, and fails to cast Verdurous Harmony. However, Alariel does cast Metamorphosis, dealing 8 mortal wounds to the clan rats. The Tree Lord Ancient finishes things off, casting Arcane Bolt. The Kurnoth with bows splits shots between the 2 rattling guns, dealing 1 wound to one and 2 to the other, but leaving both alive. Wanting to finish off the rattling guns, the Tree Lord Ancient takes 1 down, and Alariel kills the other. Charging in, the Tree Lord Ancient uses Stomp, dealing 1 mortal wound. He then unleashes the Arcane Bolt, killing 3 clan rats and using his ground-shaking stomp to make the clan rats attack last. The Kurnoth with Scythe start combat by killing 17 clan rats, who Death Frenzy and deal 3 wounds in return. The other unit of clan rats uses all-out defense, as the Tree Lord Ancient uses all-out attack and kills 8 clan rats. The clan rats deal only 1 wound in return, and the Vermin Lord uses 4th Children of the Horn Rat. Sylvaneth controls 2 objectives, scoring 2 points, and do achieve their battle tactic for another 2 points.
Alright, so Sylvaneth turn 2, killing lots of rats, but didn't flip the center objective, which is what I really wanted to do. Part of it was I had to spend a Alariel shot to finish off one of the weapons teams.
Yeah.
The big thing is, again, the 6 damage I wanted to throw into the rats, just to help clear them off. Now, with the Tree Lord Ancient, I could have maybe put him in there, but I do want to reduce this unit down as well. Start tying them up and putting pressure on.
I think it was the right move though when you were deciding to kill those rattling guns, and you were thinking, like, I was like, oh well, if you don't do that, because even just one of those things can do 24 shots.
Exactly. So just doing a little bit of mitigation. This whole game, you've been shutting down my magic, and I haven't been able to stop yours. But I would have also loved to get Virtuous Harmony off so I could bring back a Kurnoth Hunter.
That would have been huge.
Yeah, that's just not only 2 more bodies, but another 6 damage potentially. Or at least 4, whatever it is. Yeah, that's probably enough to flip the objective.
And you wasted the 11 roll on a Mystic Shield or an Arcane Bolt.
Arcane Bolt, yeah. But the Tree Lord went in. He is a monster, so he got the monster D3 damage for 1, Arcane Bolt for 3, so 4 total, and then he killed 8 clan rats.
Yeah.
So he did decent output. Again, against clan rats isn't saying much.
Yeah.
Also having to spend the hero trait once per game to give him the +1 wound, +1 save. And spending a command point for +1 to hit. So as buffed up as he could be.
Yeah,
So yeah, with the way things ended up, again, I don't take that middle objective, which really hurts. And I store my battle tactic, which was to kill a unit in my territory. Obviously with the 2 weapons teams, I got both of them down.
Yeah.
And so I score 4 points here, but we're going to go into Skaven turn 2 now, and we'll see what happens.
Let's go.
The Verminlord Warpseer again generates an extra command point with the Great Manipulators. At the start of the hero phase, Both armies use Rally, with the Skaven returning 4 clan rats, while the Sylvaneth fail to return a Kurnoth hunter. The Arch Warlock uses a Warp Spark to cast Mystic Shield on himself, then casts Chain Warp Lightning, dealing 3 mortal wounds in total. The Grey Seer then casts Skitterleap, but was unbound, so then casts Death Frenzy on the Rat Ogres with his last spell. Looking to get into action, the Verminlord casts Flaming Weapon on himself, then Dreaded Warp Gale, killing a Kurnoth hunter. In shooting, the Doomwield failed to deal any damage. The Clan Rats use Forward to Victory to make their charge, and at the end of the phase, the Verminlord uses Stomp, killing 1 Dryad. With the Kurnoth with Scythes using all-out defense, the Rat Ogres use all-out attack, and the Inspired Triumph, dealing 6 wounds to the Kurnoth hunters. The Clan Rats use all-out defense before the Kurnoth with Scythes kill 5 of them, and they deal no damage in return. The Dryads then kill 3 Clan Rats, and were themselves killed by the Verminlord. In the Battle Shock phase, the Verminlord again uses 4th Children of the Horn Rat. The Skaven forces score 3 points for the objective, but fail to complete their battle tactic.
Okay, awesome. Back Skaven turn. Went pretty well. It didn't get my battle tactic, which was the only kind of thing that I think at the end of the day
didn't go your way.
Didn't go my way, yeah. So we were just saying it's actually worth 2 points is pretty big. But yeah, the Warp Seer came up over on this side with the Clan Rats, and I was able to take that point. Like you said, if I get the double here, then that's where it's going to kind of be trouble. But still very much everyone, like you still have a lot of units on the board. 3 bows, 2 units of teleporting guys. Yep. Like it's...
I still got stuff.
Still got stuff.
Yep. But yeah, then I think we can just jump into seeing where the objective comes down. So again, 1 on that side.
Yep. In
the center again.
Back in the middle.
And then just coming down to priority.
Yes. Okay.
That's a 2.
It's a 5.
Okay, so your choice.
Yeah, looking at it, I think it'd be dumb here to not take the double and come back.
Yeah, for sure. And I do get to burn an objective. So I'm going to choose the center one here. Just give Ridge a couple questions of what he wants to do then. So we'll be jumping into Skaven turn 3.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Vermin Lord Warp Seers, the Great Manipulators, generate 3 extra command points this turn. Both armies again use Rally, with the Skaven returning 2 Clan Rats and the Sylvaneth failing to return a Kurnoth Hunter. The Arch Warlock casts Warp Storm, dealing 3 mortal wounds, then casts more warp power on the Doom Wheel. The Grey Seer casts Skitter Leap, but was unbound again, but then casts Mystic Shield on the Doom Wheel. The Vermin Lord casts Flaming Weapon on himself, but failed to cast Dreaded Warp Gale. In shooting, the Vermin Lord kills a Tree Revenant, and the Rat Ogres deal 1 wound to the Kurnoth Hunters. The Tree Lord Ancient uses all-out defense when targeted by the Doom Wheel, with all-out attack. In the end, it only deals 2 damage to the Tree Lord Ancient. When the Vermin Lord charges, Alarielle uses Unleash Hell to throw her spear but fails to wound the Vermin Lord. The Tree Lord uses Stomp, but fails, then uses Ground Shaking Stomp, causing the Doom Wheel to fight last. The Rat Ogres use all-out attack, dealing 6 damage, leaving 1 Kurnoth alive with 1 wound. That Kurnoth then kills 6 Clan Rats, who strike back but fail to finish him off. The Tree Revenants deal 1 wound to the Vermin Lord, and then are slain in return. The Tree Lord Ancients deal no damage, while the Doom Wheel deals 2 wounds to him at the end of combat. The Skaven army achieves their battle tactic this turn, scoring the maximum 5 points for the round.
Alright, well, I got a little greedy. So somehow I couldn't kill the Kurnoth sites. I didn't realize when I moved my Doom Wheel over, got 1 more warp power on it. Nothing else really notable in the hero phase. Moved the Doom Wheel over. I was planning on shooting the Kurnoths. I rolled 8 for my shots as well, so it was going to do tons of damage. And then the woods, actually, now the woods you can't shoot through, or like if it's within 3.
Well, they always block line of sight.
You're right, yeah. So for some reason,
the rules changed on how they did it, but
yeah. So that was my plan. I moved just in here, so I was wholly within 13, and then realized I couldn't actually shoot them. So then I was like, okay, crap. I probably should have turned and shot the sides, but I thought 4 Rat Ogres, seeing as how many wounds they did last turn, with the +1 to hit and everything, they would be able to clean him up, and then the Clan Rats as well. But so I put everything in the Tree Lord. 8 shots, I think it was. So he had a
2 up,
3 up to 2 up, back to 3 up with 1 rend. And I think he saved 7 of 8 of them, which isn't that crazy, but being D3 +1 from the Warp Spark. Either way, didn't take him out completely, and the Rat Ogres absolutely flubbed their attacks, and re-roll will save. Yeah, you can't, I just relied on, I thought for sure I was going to be able to kill him. So.
Yeah, it's the reroll saves is just hard to estimate, right?
Yeah.
It can, especially on like a 3 or 4 up, it can go either way.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, though, I am still going to get the Destroy ranks because I killed the unit of Spite Revs.
Tree Revenants.
Or Tree Revenants. Yeah. So I originally thought it was going to be these guys, but yeah, I was able to get that. So I'm going to get 2 for that and then the 3, so I'll get 5 total.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Gotta bring it back here somehow, but not out of it yet.
No.
And yeah, we'll jump into bottom of round 3 and Sylvaneth turn coming up.
The Skaven forces use Rally to return 5 clan rats, while Alariel's Life Bloom heals a total of 5 wounds from Sylvaneth units. Again, Alariel casts Throne of Vines but is unbound, then fails to cast both Metamorphosis and Verdurous Harmony. The Tree Lord Ancient then also fails to cast Awakening the Wood. The last unit of Tree Revenants teleports using their waypipes, and the last Scythe Hunter travels through the spirit paths to safety. Alariel throws the Spear of Kurnoth at the Arch Warlock, but it doesn't penetrate his armor. The Tree Lord's Doom Tendril Staff misses the Doom Wheel, but the Kurnoth with bows deals 6 damage to it. Charging in, Alariel deals 3 mortal wounds on impact to the clan rats, and the Tree Lord Ancient stomps to finish off the Doom Wheel. Alariel uses all-out attack, and despite the clan rats using all-out defense, she kills 10 of them. Needless to say, the Vermin Lord uses 4th Children of the Horn Rat. The Sylvaneth army scores only 1 point for the objective, but do achieve their battle tactic, totaling 3 points for their turn.
Alright, so Sylvaneth turn 3, not exactly what I wanted here. Feeling like Sylvaneth still. You know, with no spellcasting modifiers, failing and having all my spells unbound. You know, my 6 damage spear continues to miss or get saved, and so I only hold this objective. So I score 1 point, but then I also get 2 for the battle tactics, which was to kill an enemy unit. Obviously, I got that.
Kill the Doom Wheel, yeah.
Yeah. I thought about doing the one where it's kill an enemy unit in your territory.
Yep.
Thought this was safer because I had this as backup, so I'm glad I chose that one. You know, was able to get it there.
Yep.
I retreated out my Kurnoth Hunter. Wasn't obviously able to bring back models to him or the other unit, but hopefully next turn. And healed up both my Kurnoth units as well as my Tree Lord, so you know, getting wounds back there.
Tons of healing. He's back up to like 9 wounds. Yeah, definitely a mistake putting the Doom Wheel in and doing all that. But I was just so mad with my shots. I just one of those anger things.
Yeah, but
could have held him up.
Yeah, it is priority here.
Yeah.
It's 5.
It's a 3.
Okay, well.
We got a game.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, have to take it here.
Yeah.
And now that turn 3 is behind us, I'm not punished. You're not burning any objectives or anything. It's just that 1 turn.
Yeah.
So obviously, working in my favor has given me a chance to come back.
Really
hopefully,
makes you think.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can, you know, get some casting off, some great mortal wounds from Alariel would be amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Jump back into it with Sylvaneth turn 4.
Sounds good.
Using Rally, the Sylvaneth finally return a Kurnoth Hunter, and Alariel's Life Bloom heals a total of 6 wounds from the Sylvaneth units. Alariel then casts Throne of Vines and Metamorphosis, dealing 3 mortal wounds to the Vermin Lord. Alariel also casts Verdurous Harmony, but is unbound, though the Tree Lord Ancient casts Awakening the Wood, dealing 6 mortal wounds in total. When the Arch Warlock uses Redeploy to move away from the Tree Lord Ancient, who fails to hit Arch Warlock with his Doom Tendril Staff. Alariel misses him with the Spear of Kurnoth, but the Kurnoth with bows manage to deal 4 wounds to the Arch Warlock. Alariel deals a total of 3 mortal wounds on the charge, and the Tree Lord Ancient stomps, finishing off the Arch Warlock. Alariel and the Vermin Lord both use Titanic Duel, and Alariel deals 4 wounds to the Vermin Lord, leaving him with 3 remaining. Warp Grinder deals no damage, and is then killed by the Tree Lord Ancient. The Clan Rats deal 1 wound to the Kurnoth with bows, who kill 1 Clan Rat in return. The Rat Ogres then deal 2 damage to the Kurnoth with bows, and the Scythe Hunters kill 6 Clan Rats. Alariel uses all-out defense as the Vermin Lord attacks and deals 2 wounds. The Vermin Lord uses 4th Children of the Horn Rat. Sylvaneth scores 2 points for the objective and continues to achieve their battle tactics, scoring a total of 4 points this round.
All right, so Sylvaneth, turn 4. Obviously, again, winning priority here was big. You know, let me deal with a few things, but not everything I wanted to, unfortunately.
Can't have it all, Jordan.
Yeah. Again, just shooting, spear, weapons, all that, you know.
Magic went off finally.
Yeah, a little bit. Some things went well, some things didn't. Didn't really get enough shooting to take out your general, which was my main goal this turn. Not only is it limiting your CP generation for the rest of the game, I mean, there's only a couple more turns, but it is also scoring me my grand strategy to kill your general and keep mine alive. So hopeful about getting those points at the end. And then Alariel went over with the hope of finishing off the Vermin Lord. Again, I needed to get 2 full hits through. He had 7 health left.
Yep. And then
you made enough of your armor saves where I only got 1 through, and then
5 damage. Then I made 1 of his 5 up.
Yeah. So I dealt 4 in the end. So he's still alive on 3 wounds, which really hurts because you keep that objective.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, interesting final turns. Again, would have loved that point, but I do take this one with the Tree Lord and the Tree Revenants that I teleported last turn, just moving up.
Almost a super cheeky play here with a redeploy that I did. So when you moved your Tree Rev outside of 3,
Tree Lord,
I was able to do a redeploy because he was within 9. I redeployed, rolled a 5. So
I
I actually pulled him back, so you had an 8-inch charge, which you rolled a 9. But if you had not made that, right? Like that's
could have been big.
It's a cool. There's a lot of cool mechanics that are going to be
really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Alariel again not doing quite enough damage, but here I threw the Kurnoth Hunters in just to tie up those guys. Again, at this point, I mean, it would be nice to be free and shooting stuff, but at this point I just have to tie up those Rat Ogres.
Yeah.
So they're not killing my Tree Lord.
This turn, round 5 is going to be huge. So bottom 4, you're going to see some round 5 roll off is going to be massive.
Yes,
this has been a really good game, which is
So with that, again, 2 objectives. I did both of those, and I did score my battle tactic, which is to kill a unit in your territory, which I did with that single Clan Rat.
Yeah.
Or there were 3 at the start of the turn or something.
Yeah.
So I do score 4 points, putting me up only 2, which isn't a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, with how tight the game is. So, and we are going into bottom of the round.
Bottom of 4,
so bottom of turn 4, and Skaven turn coming up.
Yeah, let's see.
The Vermin Lords start off the hero phase casting Mystic Shield on himself, then cast Dreaded Warp Gale, dealing 3 mortal wounds to the Kurnoth Hunters with scythes. Grey Seer casts Skitter Leap, using a Warp Spark, but rolls a 13 and blew himself up. At the end of the charge phase, the Vermin Lord stomps, dealing 3 mortal wounds to Alariel, who stomps in return, but the mortal wounds are negated. Alariel uses all-out defense, as the Vermin Lord uses all-out attack and deals 4 wounds to Alariel, bringing her down to 6. Then, Alariel deals 3 wounds in return, bringing the Vermin Lord down to only 2 remaining. The Skaven forces hold 2 objectives and score 2 points, but fail to achieve their battle tactic.
Alright, so this is now the craziest game I think I've ever played.
Oh, really?
No.
It's been a wild one.
It's been some...
Craziest game of AoS 3 we've ever played.
Yes.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
No question.
Yeah, so a couple things. The Warp Seer just continues to not die, so that's been great.
Yeah.
Yep. I was able to, pretty much now I'm just retreating and playing for turn 5, because the very first thing that I wanted to do is my battle tactic was take control of that point. So I'm not able to get this one because he counts as 5. I already own that one. So my plan over here was I was thinking I could possibly cast Levitate and then get him around. We did some measurements, not
There's
possible.
no way, yeah.
Because I was bracketed so much, he doesn't move 12 anymore, he moves 8.
Yep.
But then my Grey Seer, so I could skitter leap him over, just outside 9, boom, all over, nice and easy. So everyone knows the Grey Seer, if you can eat a Warp Spark and then you roll 3d6 instead of 2d6. So I'm like, whatever, I'll do
Make your charge or your casting way more reliable.
Way more reliable, because you know what I mean, rolling that with you with an unbind, just the 2d6, and the chance to roll a 13 with 3d6 is very low. Yeah. So obviously I rolled a 3d6 and I rolled an 8 and a 5, so 4, 4, 5. Yeah. Which is 13. So he teleported himself, and then
exploded.
He exploded due to eating warp stones. Yep. So that's always fun. But I seem to always love doing that with, and I don't. It's the best. But anyway, so retreated these guys back here, hold this point, and retreat everything else. So yeah, I'm not going to get my battle tactic again. I'm going to hold that though, because the Warp Seer stayed alive. I did quite a bit to Alariel actually. Yep. Got a good cast off on these guys, which we were talking about. I could have done a bit more mortal wounds just if I did it to Alariel, but I was thinking if you go having their charge and having their move. But like we said last turn, this is very much dependent on turn 5.
Yeah, it's big. So obviously, lots to play for.
This couldn't be a bigger priority role for all of AoS 3. So I need a 5 here, baby.
4. 2. 2 for Ridge. The fate is on our side today, and obviously with that, we'll go into Sylvaneth turn 5. Let's bring it home.
The Sylvaneth use Rally, returning a Kurnoth Hunter with bow. Alariel casts Throne of Vines, but it was unbound, then fails to cast both Metamorphosis and Verdurous Harmony. Then, Alariel's Life Bloom heals 6 wounds to herself and a combined 6 wounds to the units of Kurnoth Hunters. The Tree Lord Ancient finishes off the hero phase, casting Mystic Shield on himself. The Tree Lord Ancient kills 2 Storm Vermin with his Doom Tendril Staff. Alariel's Spear deals 4 damage to the Vermin Lord, leaving him with only 1 remaining. The Kurnoth with bows then finish off the Storm Vermin. Alariel and the Vermin Lord both use Titanic Duel, and Alariel uses Lord of the Hunt on the Vermin Lord before finishing him off in combat. Then, the Kurnoth Hunters use all-out attack and killed the clan rats. The Sylvaneth now control all 4 of the remaining objectives, scoring them 3 points as well as 2 additional for the battle tactic.
Alright, so, not bottom of turn 5, but midway through turn 5, finishing Sylvaneth turn 5, and pretty solidly clinched the win here.
Yep.
Obviously, throughout the game, a ton of things that were like by the skin of my teeth. I mean, both sides.
Yeah.
Always little things that can go either way. And my secondary or my battle tactic was to take an objective that you claimed, which I took both that one and that one. And
the grand scheme was my battle line, and both of them so closely stayed alive the entire game.
So at this point, just because you never, just working out score, you could run onto that one or something. Potentially, you get 1 point.
I could maybe get one
at the bottom. Here. So I am up. I also then, like you said, I deny you your grand strategy because I killed all of your battle line.
Yep, and that was mine.
And I store my grand strategy because I killed.
Didn't kill your general.
Yeah, and I killed yours. So that was big. Ended up being Sylvaneth stealing it in the bottom of round 5.
It was wild. There's so many just different things now, just so many things to think about. The redeploy mechanic is crazy. Like so many small things even at the end here. Just so...
Yeah,
there's lots
you really
to
have to be on top of knowing what you want to do in advance. Because if your opponent moves and obviously they're just playing through their turn and you have to catch things at the right moment to respond to them.
It'll be different in tournaments. So in tournaments, when you're playing, you have to know what you want to do because someone will just start rolling and then you're like, oh, I wanted to do,
And you do have to be really engaged. Now people are excited that there's more to do during your opponent's turn, but it's it's not just oh, that's nice. It's okay, you have to be on it.
Yes.
Because you have to be, be
+1 save is a big deal.
Planning what abilities you're going to use when and where because of all the restrictions. This was an awesome game.
It was super fun.
For our first game of 3.0, I had a ton of fun.
It only took 3.0 for Alariel to finally get a win.
So to finally hit the table and perform. She didn't do the best, but did what she needed to in the end.
Yeah, I didn't realize even at turn 3 or 4 when she was just battling with the warp seer. I didn't even really think, but a monstrous awesome battle that they were having. I had her down to 5 wounds. Yeah. I didn't even notice. I was attacking other things, and I was like, wow.
And that's why we saw turn 2. I'm so protective and so reserved with her, because if she takes wounds on my turn and then we go into your turn, she's dead.
Yeah.
Let alone the potential double. I have to play really safe with her, where you only could have got into her maybe on the double, but not the first turn. So 1 turn I can generally survive with her. But yeah, man, I'm obviously it was a roller coaster of a game for both of us.
There's a lot of interesting, not even just the how much CP you get for going second compared to
it's huge.
The warp seer had so many good things with generating CP and being a monster, and what I mean. There's so many,
and those abilities are so good. So we saw I felt really like I was. Now, obviously, CP, we have more than we ever did.
Yeah.
But you're using more than you ever are.
Constantly.
And you need to use more, you feel like.
Yes.
And so I actually, going first, I did really feel like taking first turn throughout the game, the first 3 turns.
Yeah.
I did not have the CP to do much.
Yes.
I had to save them for what I needed, which is the +1 to saves.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really using them reactively. I just didn't really have the chance, right?
No, for redeploys or any of those, even the stand and shoot, whatever. Those couple times came up where we might have been able to, but you often forget. But yeah, there's just so much to it. And like you just said, with knowing you can only use a certain CP once. So you can only do all-out defense with 1 unit. So you have to really think about, if you use all-out defense with this unit, this guy's not going to get it. Or vice versa. Or, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of practice to be had.
But definitely, a lot of interest overall, kind of, in terms of the depth, it adds, it was great. And there's a few little things we learned, actually that turn 1, with my Kurnoth Hunters, I thought I had positioned them to do the reaction fire, Unleash Hell. And I thought it was within 9 inches of my friendly unit that was getting charged, but it was yours, and you
I immediately went, hold on, you can't do that.
Stayed just outside, just on the edge of that, so I couldn't do it. But even with that, it's had I even have known I was out of position, I could have reactively moved the Dryads back.
If something came within 9 of it, you could have moved D6.
Yeah, the Dryads could have moved back, so you're forced to come in further.
Yeah.
And get in those shooting ranges.
Yeah, there's just so much.
I think we will wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed this first AoS 3 battle report. Obviously, lots more to come on the channel. Excited to get lots more games in. And bringing the armies you guys want to see on the channel. I didn't mention at the start, but this was a matchup, as always, chosen by our premium members. So if you're interested in watching more battle reports, we do an extra 1 a month right now. Hopefully in the coming weeks when we hit our next goal, which is a bit away still, but we'll be doing an extra battle report every week for premium members. So that's 8 a month, up from 4. So good reason to join our premium membership, and just it helps make this all possible, right?
Yeah.
If that's the only reason we're able to dedicate the time to editing and everything, and obviously we're all working hard in terms of painting up models and that. And want to, with your guys' help, as we always have, want the feedback and want to continue, growing the channel and improving things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so consider the premium membership. But regardless, we appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed this battle report, and we'll see you again soon.
Take care, guys.